Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Gold Rush Tony Beets celebrates special milestone. Gold Rush star Tony Beets is celebrating a special milestone in his life right now. As one of the most successful members of the Discovery Channel show's cast, Tony has achieved everything with the help of his family. That makes his recent announcement even more special. Here is what Tony had to say and why this is so special for him in his life. Tony Beets announces special day. Tony Beets has been on Gold Rush since Season 2 and has been a major part of the cast since Season 6. He has been one of the top gold miners since Season 7, where he found 2,176 troy ounces that year. However, he hasn't done it alone. Tony has worked hard to make his gold mining empire a family affair with his wife, Minnie, and their children. Tony took to Facebook to wish his wife Minnie a happy wedding anniversary. He wrote in the caption, 43 years ago, "Time flies when you have fun." Much of that time together has been mining for gold. Yet it seems like that is just part of the 4 decades of fun that they have spent together as husband and wife. Tony and Minnie started dating in their 20s and married shortly after that. However, they knew each other when they were kids. Minnie said she met Tony when they were very young and living in Holland. They ended up growing up together, getting married, and then moving to Canada to start their gold mining empire. Since that time, Tony and Minnie have had 3 kids and built their gold mining operation into the most successful cruise on Gold Rush. It's a 50-50 game, Tony said about their partnership. As of 2021, the Beets family has turned over $30 million worth of gold in 7 years via Discovery. Tony Beets dealing with family drama on Gold Rush. While this has always been a family affair for Tony Beets and his wife Minnie, one member of the family has made things tough for them this season on Gold Rush. If the show's editing is to be trusted, Kevin Beets didn't show up at the season's start and then told his mom and dad on a video call that he was taking the season off. This was after they were already there to start working. When Kevin didn't show up, Tony Beets had to find out what happened to his son, who was usually in charge of the plant. Kevin and his wife told Tony that they wanted to take the season off to garden at their home. Tony wasn't happy, but he moved on and put Monica in charge over Kevin. This showed that the rest of the family was still in sync with their operations. As the sun dipped below the Yukon horizon, casting a golden hue over the sprawling Klondike landscape, Tony Beets stood at the edge of his sprawling claim, reflecting on a journey that had spanned decades. The rhythmic hum of machinery provided a familiar soundtrack, a constant reminder of the relentless pursuit that had defined his life. But tonight was different. This was no ordinary day of digging, dredging, and chasing the motherlode. Tonight, Tony Beets was celebrating a milestone that even he, the king of the Klondike, had to stop and savor. The journey to this moment had been anything but easy. From his early days in Holland, where mining was nothing more than a distant dream, to the unforgiving wilderness of Canada, Tony had carved his empire from the earth with grit, determination, and a fierce will. He had built a dynasty with his bare hands, creating a legacy that had made his family name synonymous with the treasures hidden beneath the Yukon soil. This milestone, however, wasn't just about ounces of gold or the number of successful seasons on Gold Rush. It was about something far deeper, a testament to the endurance of a man who refused to back down from any challenge. Tonight marked the 30th anniversary of Tony Beets staking his first claim in the Klondike, a moment that had changed not just his life, but the course of modern mining history. As Tony walked through the bustling Beets camp, his trademark leather hat casting a shadow over his eyes, he could hear the sounds of celebration in the distance. His family, Minnie, Monica, Kevin, and Mike, were preparing a gathering that was equal parts party and tribute, honoring the man who had led them to success. Trucks were parked in a semicircle, with strings of lights hung between them, creating a makeshift festival ground under the open sky. Barrels of beer were ready to be tapped, and the smell of roasting meat filled the air. Despite the festivities, Tony's mind wandered to the early years. He remembered the backbreaking labor, the days when the machines broke down and there was no one but him to fix them, the cold winters that had nearly driven him and Minnie back home. But it was the thrill of discovery, the glint of gold in a pan, that kept him pushing forward. The ground had given him a hard-earned fortune, but it had taken just as much in return. That, Tommy knew, was the true price of gold. At the heart of this celebration wasn't just Tony's success. It was his family's unwavering loyalty. Minnie, his partner in every sense of the word, had been there from the beginning, guiding the family with a quiet strength that matched Tony's more brash approach. Together, they had raised children who were now miners in their own right, each carving out their path in the family business. As the campfire crackled to life, Tony joined his family at the long wooden table. His crew, many of whom had been with him for years, raised their glasses in unison. Tony gave a rare smile, the lines on his weathered face deepening with a mix of pride and nostalgia. To another 30 years, someone shouted, but Tony chuckled, knowing that 30 more might be pushing it. He'd fought hard for every nugget, every claim, and every season on Gold Rush *. But even the king of the Klondike had to acknowledge that time marched on. Still, there was something timeless about the Yukon. It had a way of keeping men like Tony Beets young at heart, even when their bodies showed the wear and tear of decades in the dirt. As the night wore on and the laughter grew louder, Tony found himself surrounded by the very thing that mattered most to him, his legacy. Not just in gold or in the sprawling claims that stretched as far as the eye could see, but in the people who had shared this journey with him. Minnie stood next to Tony, her hand resting on his shoulder. She, too, had seen it all, the good, the bad, the victories and the losses. Tonight, though, was a victory of perseverance, of love, and of an unbreakable bond between husband and wife, family and fortune. As the fire burned low and the stars emerged in the clear northern sky, Monica approached Tony with a small wooden box. Inside was something that Tony hadn't expected. A gold coin, crafted from the very first gold the Beets family had pulled from their first claim all those years ago. Engraved on its surface was a simple message: for the king of the Klondike. Tony took the coin in his rough hands, feeling its weight. It wasn't about the value of the gold itself, but what it represented: a lifetime of work, risk, and reward. He looked around at his family, his crew, and the vast expanse of the Yukon, realizing that this moment, this milestone, was about much more than the numbers on a scale. Raising his glass, Tony spoke in his usual gruff tone. "We've done good, haven't we?" There was no grand speech needed. The simple words held more meaning than any long-winded toast ever could. And with that, the party carried on.